And today, the pre-inaugural partying continues in Washington, D.C. as Americans get ready to watch history being made.
While there are a lot of festivities, President-elect Barack Obama took some time to honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our country.
On Sunday, the president-elect laid a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknowns at Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia. He was joined at the brief ceremony by Vice President-elect Joe Biden and their wives, Michelle and Jill.
Later, the Obama family attended services at a local Baptist church. Today, Mr. Obama will observe the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday by working on a volunteer service project before attending 3 tribute dinners. And, of course, Washington, D.C. is where all of the action is this week. San Diego 6 is right there in the middle of it.
Reporter Elex Michaelson, they're now live with an SDSU professor who's there for his 7th inauguration. Is that correct, Elex?
That's true, Mark. And Anita, good morning to you both. We're joined this morning by SDSU Professor Mike Stoddard. Every year he takes students to Oxford both during the spring and the summer. He's also an Oxford Fellow in addition to being an SDSU professor. And every 4 years he comes to the inauguration. But you say that this inauguration is even more special this year.
Yeah, this has been very unusual. This is, I think, my 7th inauguration. And this has been, I suppose, the most extraordinary. I mean, every inauguration is exciting. There's a great deal of enthusiasm, but this is the most.
Now, you are a veteran of several Republican administrations in foreign service. You've worked with Presidents Nixon, Ford, Reagan, Bush, and Bush. We've heard a lot of goodwill from Republicans this week, talk about uniting the country. We heard a lot of goodwill from Democrats towards George W. Bush, uniter, not a divider, and then that didn't work out so well. How long do you think this goodwill will last before the partisan squabbling starts once again?
Well, it's complicated. I mean, I think it's odd. In foreign policy, I think the goodwill will last for quite some time because President Obama, or soon-to-be President Obama, has come, a lot of people think, to a fairly central position. So the war issue, both wars, are different than they were 2 years ago. I mean, it's not just an anti-war versus pro-war situation, and the situation in the field in Iraq is much better. I mean, I think the Republicans will give the new president quite a lot of leeway. I think he'll take advantage of that. So I think a sort of bipartisan foreign policy can be expected for a while.
So we'll have to see what happens with domestic policy. But on that question of foreign policy, he's picked a very high-profile Secretary of State to be the face of America, Senator Hillary Rodham Clinton. As somebody who's worked in that building on foreign policy, do you think she's the right person, and how effective do you think she'll be?
Well, I mean, that too it's very hard for me to say. I'm not sure anybody really knows. I mean, I think very well of Senator Clinton. Her husband is an extraordinary human being. Between the two of them, and it's really almost impossible to ever separate them intellectually. So, I mean, I don't quite know what their two roles will be. But she's bright, she's talented, she's clever, she knows a great deal about global politics. We hardly need to even mention all those things about her husband. So, but between the two of them, I assume there'll be major. The question is, how much will the new president use them?
Right, and what the relationship is between them. And something else kind of interesting this week, you've brought a lot of San Diegans to the White House. The White House officials seem to enjoy seeing that, huh?
Yeah, I think they think we're a bit odd. People from our climate are not an unusual commodity around here. Anyway,
yeah,
we're adjusting as best we can.
Right, and they seem to get a kick out of seeing us there. But thank you very much for being with us, Professor. We appreciate it, and thank you for all your good work in bringing so many students here. We'll actually talk to one of his students coming up in the next hour, and look forward to that. For now, I'm Elex Michaelson, live in Washington. Mark and Anita, back to you.
All right. Thanks, Elex. Stay warm out there.
And, of course, we will be live in Washington, D.C. all morning long, bringing you the latest on the festivities in Washington and a recap tonight at 10 p.m. on San Diego 6 News at 10.